After 10 years of steady decline, violence in Rio has spiked over the last 2 years. Armed groups, many of them drug traffickers, operate freely in most of the city's 1,000 favelas.
Jesus. So there's a body on the floor with his head just smashed open. Almost nothing left inside, it's all spread out on the pavement. I can't even guess what could have done that or how that could have been done. I know you haven't been here long, but do you know roughly what's happened here?
What we see here is that he has a lot of policeman friends. In Rio, this could be a bad thing. This kind of execution, this kind of crime probably was practiced by drug dealers. We saw probably like at least 4 different guns, like 3 different kinds of rifles there and 1 pistol.
So it could be 4 different people with 4 different guns have all fired bullets into his head, and that's why the injuries are so bad.
Yeah.
Have you seen injuries as bad as this before? I mean, this...
Yes. Every day, every time we're working, I've seen something like this, especially with this thing we have in Rio here between drug dealers, police, like groups that controls places.
And this is an area where drug traffickers and militias are competing.
Complicated area here.
What's an average 24-hour shift for you now? You know, how many homicides are you being called to see now?
4 or 5, just today, since 8 o'clock in the morning. After the World Cup, definitely after the Olympic Games, Brazil is being, especially Rio, became a poorer country, a poorer place, so we are getting more unsafe, more and more each year. So.
The promise of the World Cup and Olympics was for the opposite of this. It was called pacification. The prosperity and security of Rio's predominantly white neighborhoods, home to its famous beaches, was supposed to spread to the predominantly black, poorer areas too. One favela, called Rocinha, was heralded as a success story, visited by tourists, but even that is now controlled by the Red Command, or Comando Vermelho, the biggest drug trafficking gang in Rio. We joined MC Galo, the voice of Rocinha.
This is official electricity or unofficial?
É da light, é gato, é internet. Ah, esgoto, ó. Copa do Mundo passou, acabou a Copa do Mundo aí, ó. Os moradores continuam na merda.
So, in the build-up to the World Cup and Olympics, did anything improve in Rocinha?
Nada. Eles só prometem no morro que os moradores ficou no meio.
So, the traffickers fought the police and the police left, and then the traffickers fought each other for control of this favela.
Aí piorou, ficou com 2 quadrilhas com mais a UPP no meio. A UPP ficou recuada, aí quem sofreu é os moradores. Os moradores, bala perdida pra lá e pra cá, arrebentando casa dos outros. Caralho, só buracão, mano.
More bullet holes?
Caralho.
That's heavy caliber as well.
Aqui que a bala come, aqui quando os polícia vêm.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The lamppost and the wall, you can see dozens of bullet holes. That's the fire coming from the bope?
A gente não fica de frente para ver essas paradas, entendeu? A gente vê assim, a bala passou de um lado para o outro.
So the bope, the police special forces, walked up the hill this way, and the traffickers came down this way, and this is the point where they met. And this lamppost alone has taken at least 30 bullets. That's a hell of a fight in the middle of an area where dozens of families are living within 25, 30 feet. So now when they come in, it's an operation. They're not just patrolling.
Não, dentro não tem como, aí volta voado. E manda só polícia pro morro, e guerra pro morro, e morrendo por mais moradores no morro. Valeu, moleque?
Arta Trinidad is the Rio analyst for the Public Security Forum, one of the most respected NGOs tracking law enforcement and violence in Brazil.
We spoke to a family in Rocinha whose grandson had been killed by the police, but they said actually they prefer to live under the traffickers. Is that common?
That's very common. This operation was a police answer to a police officer killing that happens 1 week ago. Then the police goes there and did a power demonstration.
Going into a favela and killing anybody or killing just traffickers?
There is no differentiation from the police to do that. They kill someone to show that.
So doesn't that also explain why pacification didn't work? If you view the entire community as the enemy?
Yeah, that's the point. You cannot pacify an area against the people that lives there. You have the pacifier area in cooperation with them.
There are areas that were barely touched by the pacification. In one, on the outskirts of the city, armed kids sell crack, coke and weed openly on the streets of the favela they control.
So there's two kids in the far corner who are 10 years old or less selling. Someone described this as the end of the world. It's right on the outskirts of Rio. When was the last time the government controlled here?
Pô, cara, falar pra tu, já tem bom tempo. Muito tempo atrás.
How did you take it from the government?
Eles mesmos deixaram de perder o controle. A comunidade em si, ela é vista como favela e pelos governantes, ela é vista como se fosse a escória. Eles só vêm em época de eleição e fora isso, nada.
When a militia or drug traffickers control a favela, do they do it by avoiding the police or forcing the police to stay out of the area, or do they do it in collusion with the police?
Always with the police.
Always?
Never against the police. They don't fight against the police. They bribe the police. That's the formula.
But always?
Always.
This isn't isolated cases, this is...
Always, this is bribe. In Rio, the confidence in the police is below 10%.
And do you think that's justified?
Yes. It's justified because they know that the police is incapable to solve the problems.
While not all police are corrupt, low public faith in them means that operations in favelas are difficult. We joined the civil police as they launched a dawn raid to try and arrest a kidnap and ransom gang.
With the homicide division and the special forces of the civil police. And they're trying to arrest 18 members of a gang who lure people into this favela. Then they kidnap them and then just get as much money as they can out of them. Or kill them. Another team have gone looking for a body that they've been told is not far away.
É a polícia, abre a casa! Senão nós vamos abrir. A gente está atrás do Thales.
Quem sai daqui não.
Se a gente não encontrar ele hoje, outra equipe vai bater de novo na porta da senhora até ele se encontrar.
Mas ele não está aqui, rapaz.
Tá, mas colabora, né?
Mas vocês não podem fazer isso. Eu sou deficiente, eu tenho meus direitos.
So this house was the first target, but the guy they were looking for isn't here. We think the old lady is his grandmother, and she's blind and is saying she's desperate.
Eu tenho que chamar o Lisa. Fala pra mim, papai na Elisa. Fala com ela que a polícia está aqui em casa. Eu tô sozinha com Isaías, com
After a few hours of entering and searching houses, they left empty-handed. The crisis has become so severe in Rio and trust in the police is so low, many of the police are notoriously corrupt, that the president called in the National Army, who now conduct operations in the favelas and have an impossible mandate to monitor and reform the police.
And suddenly now, as they've entered this area, it's become a lot more serious. As they pass each little alleyway, they've got one guy covering it, everyone else running past, so they really are thinking there's a good chance they're going to get shot at today. And all of this is less than a mile away from the world famous Copacabana beach.
It's not gonna resolve our trouble, you know?
Yeah.
If you got lucky, find 1, 2, 3 guys, what's gonna change?
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
10, 12, 15, 20 more coming tomorrow, you know, to get his place.
In another favela, within sight of some of Rio's most famous landmarks, we saw another drug trafficking gang receive over 100 kilos of coke, which they said they'd be able to sell in just a few days.
Calma aí, faz calma aí, bagulho é sério. Vambora, parceiro. Vamos, uma coisa sempre.
So that is about 4 kilos of coke mixed with baking powder, roughly 50-50. And they're going to do the entire 100 kilos tonight. So it's actually quite a lot of work.
Quase pronto, quase pronto.
What are the chances that the police will come?
Eles têm um lugar dele, né? Ele lá e nas caras. Nós vamos só cada um.
How long have you been doing this?
Tem uns 30 anos de trabalho.
How old were you when you started?
Tinha 17.
And did you think you had any other options?
Tem cara, né, cara? Mas não, dinheiro, é pouco. Não dá lugar nenhum. O governo nosso não serve pra nada. Só pra atrasar o pobre governo.
We've just seen you accept the delivery of 100 kilos of coke and mix it up, and now it's going to be, sent out to be sold. Do you have any fear that the police or the National Army will stop you and capture you at any point?
Vivemos num país corrupto. Somos discriminados como a ralé, mas acima de nós tem muitas pessoas com nome que roubam mais que nós, ajudam o tráfico acima de nós. O tráfico que movimenta o dinheiro financeiro do país. E de jeito nenhum eles vão parar com isso.
Brazil, in 2017, take more than 62,000 homicides. This figure is much more than the homicides of all countries in Europe, North America, and part of Asia.
Combined?
Combined.
Europe, America, Asia?
Together, yeah. 30% of the citizens that lives in Rio was in the middle of a crossfire once in the last year. You can imagine how is making the fear of crime, the panic. This government, they have no public agenda to decrease these numbers.
And why do you think that is?
Problem because the homicides actually is not a problem of the whole cities. Homicide is a problem of the favela, of the poor and the black people.
Can you just explain why you chose to do this?
Se o próprio governo te obriga a você tentar esse lado, porque é um salário mínimo de 800 e poucos reais. Hoje em dia um aluguel é 600 reais. Sobra 200 e poucos reais. O que você faz com o resto que sobra? Então aqui é um lado que financeiramente eu procuro dar mais uma mordomia para minha família. Não deixa faltar comida dentro de casa, eu dou uma moradia melhor.
So despite shockingly high numbers, 62,000 homicides in 1 year, you think people think it's over there, it's away from me, my family, my neighborhood, so who cares?
Yeah, that's absolutely right. In this way, the Olympic Games, the World Cup, and the Pacification program was a success. For the people who live in the rich areas, it works, but it doesn't work the other parts of the city.
How do you think this ends?
Que tem 3 lados, a cadeia, a morte, ou vinha ficar numa cadeira de roda.
It's a problem about race in Brazil, about inequality, the homicides and the invisibility of the homicides. It's inequality.